Hey y'all, so if y'all are looking to get paid faster and also build your credit, check out Chime. Obviously, no one likes to wait on a paycheck, especially when you've got bills. But with Chime, now you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. And that's up to 2 more days to save, pay your bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation. Chime is more than just about getting paid early, though. It's also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. With a secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start building credit with everyday purchases and on-time payments. With Credit Builder, members can increase their credit history with no annual fees or interest. And having a good credit score can mean getting better car loan rates or renting apartments easier or just bragging rights around the dinner table. So, continue your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and it doesn't affect your credit score at all, which we love that because building credit can be very hard and also it's a waiting process, so you have to have patience. So get started at chime.com/unfazed. That's chime.com/unfazed. We love Chime, especially if you're trying to get a house and stuff like that and you need to build your credit. This is the app for you. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank, N.A., members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer.
Hey, my squirrely girlies. What the fuck's good? What's tea? What's juice? My name's Camo, and you're listening to Unfazed and Unbothered, the show where we typically sound bothered. Hi, how are we doing this week? I'm doing great. Yeah, phenomenal. Anything exciting this week? Not really. I have been laying low. I've been protecting my energy, enjoying my peace and solitude. These past few weeks, really and truly, I'm trying to focus on my endeavors, my wants, my needs, and my happiness and my peace, ultimately. No hard feelings to the friends and people that I've not been as available to. This is all about me right now. It's not you, it's me, essentially. So yeah, today is actually a full moon. And a lot of people ask me questions about like manifestation and like what I do, my spiritual practices and like my beliefs and yada, 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 yada. So tomorrow it'll be too late for you to really hone in on this moon's energy, but there's always the next full moon and new moon. So essentially, to the girlies who don't know much about, spirituality, the moon, astrology, so on and so forth. So a full moon is like best to release. It's like halfway through like the moon cycle, and then you have the new moon, which is really best to manifest like your next moon cycle, what endeavors you want to fulfill and what you really want to harvest over the next moon cycle. And then when the full moon comes around, it's time to release, reflect, really look back on what you journaled or what you put out into the universe and how far along you've came in the past few weeks with those goals, with those seeds that you're watering. And so it's kind of like a moment to reevaluate, reflect, and revise. So every moon cycle, I do journal. It's very helpful. I feel like it's very therapeutic. And it's also just a good resource to have to look back on. So, I was actually looking through, this is my manifestation, my moon, my journaling, all things spiritual journal I got it in March 4th, but I'm looking at my first entry in here, and a lot of these things I have fulfilled and are continuously working on throughout these moon cycles, and I see major improvements. Now, I know there's a lot of skeptics out there that could easily say, well, just because you wrote it in the journal doesn't mean that that's why it happened. Well, of course not, but it is it's pretty cool to read back on some of my old entries and to see what really came to fruition, what goals I met, which ones I lacked or didn't fully reach, but it's just a good timeline to have to look back on. But needless to say, I want to share today's journaling with you. I've not done this. This is kind of like intimate. I know a lot of people are like super superstitious and would probably deter me from sharing this. But I feel protected, and I'm a firm believer in, if you don't give it the power, it doesn't have the power over you. Maybe it sounds delusional, but I promise you, when I have been perceived as most delusional, that's when like the most success and most like aha moments have happened for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to wholeheartedly believe in something that nobody else potentially believes in. You really have to see these visions, and you have to believe in your goals more than anybody. So like, even though physically some things may not come to fruition, like, you have to live in the state of like, I am capable. It's on its way. It's already mine. It's set in stone for me. And I over the past few months, not past few months, but there was a big period of time where I had kind of neglected my spiritual practices, and I kind of got out of tune with myself a bit. I wasn't really manifesting or talking to myself. I wasn't really connected. I didn't feel like, but now I've really tried to get back into the groove of things, and I'm looking back at these journal entries, and I'm pleasantly surprised and happy that I now have this to look back on. But today is July 13th, 2022. I have a good bit. Okay, so these are things I released. Now, it's also, I fucking got rid of so much shit today. The past 2 days, really, I have donated at least 4 industrial size bags of clothing. I have probably another 3 industrial size trash bags that I'm going to take to like a Ragorama, Plato's Closet type of moment, whatever places around Atlanta tomorrow. I'm going to probably take care of that. But I'm releasing. I'm getting rid of energy. I'm getting rid of items that no longer serve me. Essentially, you can release anything physically, mentally, emotionally. You really have to be intentional. And that's a big thing, being intentional. Like, a lot of people say they want certain things. They, they want to be a certain place. They want to look a certain way, or, all these possibilities, but there's really no intention behind it. Like, I know a lot of people, they want to be, quote unquote famous. Just about everybody at one point in their life has wanted to have a platform, if you will, or be internet famous. And a lot of people like that I know personally from my hometown, they've, said things like, oh, you help me grow my platform, or beep, 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 bop, bop, boop, boop, boop. And I ask them, I'm like, okay, so like, let's say you had a platform, like, what would you do with it? Like, what would your goal be? Like, where do you want to be? Like, why do you want a platform? And there's really no intention. Oh, it would just be cool to like, have that, or like, like people look at me, attention. There's not really a purpose there. You've got to be intentional with everything you do. So anyways, without further ado, these are the things I'm releasing during this next moon cycle. Any and every negative energy, vibe, spirit, spell, curse, atom, cell within or around me. Any and every hindrance affecting me or those around. I just had to cover all my bases, any and every possibility, anything, evil eye bitches, evil eye to you bitches, anything y'all are putting on me, any energies, any powers at be, affecting me or anyone around me, I rebuke, I release, and I rebuke. Okay, I am protected. Janae Echo said it best. Any self limitations, whether that be mental, physical, or emotional, anything that's, oh, I can't wear that because I don't feel like my body is there, or I don't think that I can go here because I don't have this, or anything that's limiting my life experience, anything holding me back, essentially. I release any people, circumstances, or powers that be slowing me down or delaying my purpose fulfillment. So anything that's getting in the way, any blockages, any unforeseeable trials, tribulations, anything that is getting in the way of me getting to my finish line, my fulfilling my destiny, or just really slowing up my experience. I release any doubts and insecurities, anything within myself that makes me feel less than, anything that makes me feel like I am incapable, anything that makes me feel like I'm inferior to whoever, whatever person or place, circumstance, whatever, anything. Any patterns or behaviors that are blocking my blessings. Sometimes it's hard to, self-awareness is crucial, very crucial. And I like to think of myself as a very self-aware person. People have told me I'm pretty self-aware, but there's always things that we might not fully be aware of. And so any behavior or any type of pattern I may have that is hindering my happiness, my goals, anything getting in the way of my connections, I release it. All damaging thoughts. I don't want any negative thoughts in my brain. Universe, this is kind of like a manifestation in itself. I'm speaking these things to an audience. You girls are taking in my manifestations, my releases, my releasings, if you will. And so it's kind of like a seed, if you will. And this is kind of like an audible journal entry that I can listen back to. So now y'all can also kind of compare the next few months for me. So that's kind of cool. So I release more fat, pounds, and inches from my body, especially my waist and lower back, girl, because I'm trying to get this booty looking plump, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? And so I need my lower back to really carve itself out, and I need my waist to shrink so I can look snatched boots. Okay, just a little more drama and emphasis on my waist. I do kind of have, like a little figure, but I really just want to give full Coke bottle realness. You know what I'm saying, bitch? Yeah. I release any tension or anxiety, any tension, whether that be within myself or those around me, or any tension between me and those around me. Any lack of focus, efficiency, productivity. I release all of that. Anything that is causing me to be lazy or not as productive as I could be, not as efficient, effective. Boom, 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 boom. Release. Get away from me. I release that energy. Oh, not my dryer turning on by itself. Okay, purr. Moving on. Laziness. I release laziness. You know what? I am lazy, girls. I'm lazy. I'm gonna be 1,000. There are times when I'm lazy, and I've really worked a lot on my laziness, and I've became less of a lazy person. Hence why I'm able to go to the gym now. But like, some of the smallest tasks just seem so daunting to me, and I'm like, bitch, you are so annoying. Like, for instance, my room. If you came in my room at first glance, you'd be like, okay, it's kind of tidy, a little messy, not dirty. There's a difference between dirty and messy. I don't like dirty bitches. Dirty bitches got old food and McDonald's bags and cups all over every counter, every surface, weeks, months. And I get it. Depression happens. I've not been there. I've been depressed, but I've not been McDonald bags all over my room depressed. It's more so just like piles of clothing. But I'm not judging because people would look at my... Anyways. There's a difference between dirty and messy, though. Point being made. But anyways. Now I've lost my goddamn train of thought. Oh, yeah, laziness. My room. So at first glance, you would say it's pretty tidy, maybe a little messy here and there, but my closet, the past few months, I've really neglected my closet. And I have a walk-in closet. It's a small walk-in closet, but I do have a shopping problem. I've talked a lot about that, which, you know what? That's something else I want to release. Yeah. I'm adding this live with the girls. I release any poor spending habits. Ugh. Bye. Bon voyage. But yeah, I've just been cramming everything in my closet for the past few months. And so like when a friend comes over or if anyone comes over, I just throw everything in my closet. And if y'all had seen the state of my closet yesterday, oh my God. Literally, clothing was stacked probably to my titties, to my titty line. Yeah, I couldn't walk in my closet because there was bags that I've not even went through of clothing that I've bought 2 months ago that like I was happy to fit into, and now it's starting to get too big for me. So it's just like, really, what was the point? Can't return it now either. But there was just so much clothing, shoes, bags, miscellaneous items, things I'd been looking for a long periodically time. But today and yesterday, I've been really cleaning up. I've been cleaning every nook and cranny of my house. And needless to say, that all stems from my laziness. If you would just address issues at hand as they come to be, if you would wash the bowl and spoon you use after you eat out of it, wash it immediately. Dishes won't stack up. If you fold your clothing immediately, hang up your shirts, there won't be a depression pile in your closet. Okay, so laziness. Whew, that was a lot of babbling. Anyways, so I release any creative blockages. I mean, anything that's keeping me from writing the best songs lyrically, melodically, anything that's keeping me from having the most crisp, pitch perfect vocals, my rhythm, my timing, anything that is keeping those things from being as close to perfect, because perfection does not exist, but as close to perfect as possible. Anything that is keeping those things from being damn good. Anything that is holding me back from being a notable bitch within my craft. Okay. This is a long one, but anything keeping me from being a healthy, positive, happy, loving, lovable, beautiful, both inside and outside, successful, desirable, hot commodity. Anything keeping me from being any or all of those traits, goodbye to those. I release you, bitch. Yeah, I just got to cover all my bases. I am dramatic. So yeah, the thing with manifestation and spirituality is you have to be very specific. I look back at journals that I have from like years back, and I would be like, it would just be very vague. It would just be like, I want to release doubt. Okay, well, and like what type of doubt? Like, you got to break it down, nitty gritty. Anything negatively affecting, limiting, or interfering with my money, my social blade, my purpose, my health, and happiness. Now, yeah, my money. See, social media is my money, essentially. So anything that's like keeping my videos off the For You page, because shadow banning is a thing. And like, it's just so weird how like engagement can go from like millions of views in a day to like tens of thousands. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. There's other powers that be affecting, you know. So anything that's like, you know, any turbulence, if you will. Anything holding me back, baggage, circumstances, anything holding me back from living my best life. I'm going to speed through the rest of this because it's time for a break. But any bad eating habits, anything disrupting my peace and the peace around me, any mental fog or unclarity, overthinking, making assumptions, release all of it. Any negative feelings, thoughts, or grudges towards me. Any conditional love, any uncertainty, any doubt, any fear, any tension within or between me and lovers, friends, family, whoever. Anything negative within, around, or attached to me physically or spiritually, okay? Spiritually, emphasis on the spiritually. Anything that's attached to my soul, anything attached to my spirit that's weighing me down, fucking up my life experience. Bye, toodles. I rebuke you. And then last but not least, any lack of confidence in my craft, my artistry, and my creative process. And then, of course, I wrote the poor spending, release it. I release it. Those are the things I'm releasing under this full moon. So after this episode, I'm going to go to the gym. Just, you know, be intentional. I want to release more fat pounds and inches. So go to the gym, you know. Manifestation is not only writing it down in a journal and thinking and believing it, but putting forth the action and effort to bring them to fruition. It's not a miraculous process. You have to believe it. You have to know it to be yours, but you also have to work. You also have to work. So be intentional. So yeah, I'm gonna go on a break, and then we'll come back, and we'll be back.
Hey, Queens, if you want to start building your credit, get a better credit score, or just get paid earlier, you should check out Chime, because who likes waiting on a paycheck, especially when you've got bills due? The good thing about Chime is now you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. That's up to 2 days more to save, pay bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation. Chime is more than just about getting paid early. It's also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. So, is that piece of plastic in your wallet doing enough for you? Probably not, but with the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start building credit with everyday purchases and on-time payments. With Credit Builder, members can increase their credit history with no annual fees or interest, and having a good credit score can mean getting better car loan rates or renting apartments easier, or just bragging rights around the dinner table, or getting the house that you've always wanted. And we love having good credit. It's very important. I feel like if you have no credit, what do you really have? You need good credit, girl. So continue your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/unfazed. That's chime.com/unfazed. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank, NA, pursuant to a license from Visa USA Chime checking account, and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some user scores may not improve.
We're back. I'm back. Hey. So we left off releasing. Well, I was releasing with the girls. So I want to discuss more on how to water and nurture our seeds so that they can effectively and most efficiently grow and bloom and blossom. How we can get to our finish lines, how we can reach goals, you know. So like I said before, you have to be intentional. Behind every thought, idea, every vision, there has to be an intention. I want to have a podcast so that I can share my life experiences, and with doing so, inspire others, help others feel a sense of, you know, like of belonging, if you will. I want to do music to touch people with my stories, with my lyricism, with my emotions. I want to relate to people. I want to put something out there, art that I make that can, affect people positively. So there has to be an intention behind everything. Um, but put that intention out there, put it behind every action, behind every idea, every vision, and start figuring out what baby steps you can make to get you closer every single day. Every single day is a new opportunity, a new leaf to turn, full of possibilities from the time you open your eyes. Am I going to lay in bed for an hour and a half today? Or am I going to immediately get my feet on the ground and get a moving on with my day? Like, get up and do. Put more actions out there behind the words. Actions speak louder than words. So don't just say, "Oh, I want to be there. I want to do this." Yada yada yada. Go out and start doing it. Okay? What's stopping you? You want to be an artist? Be an artist. Start writing. Start putting things out there. And that is one of my biggest things. I'm not even really sharing my creations with the world because I've been so focused on other things, and it's time for me to really nurture my seeds and sprout them, grow them. So if that's something you want to do, or anything that you have in mind that you want to do, put an intention behind it and start making the baby steps possible to get you there. You have to build a foundation to grow from, to build off of, And somebody once told me a long time ago that, I would always I had all these self-limitations. I would always complain to this certain person. They're very close. We're like family. We're pretty much family, but they've always kind of been like a business partner, family, brotherly type of energy in my life. And, I would always complain to him about how my career has not blossomed, or I've not reached certain heights because, I don't have these resources, or I don't have this studio, or I don't have that, or I don't have this. And yeah, I was struggling financially back then, but there was literally no budgeting for what I wanted to do for my music. And it's funny now because that I remember very vividly about a year and a half ago ish, me talking to this individual, and I was in a low point, and I was going through some things, and I just was talking about how, I can't get there because this. I had been making money. I had been spending money on any and everything. Why was I not investing in myself? And this individual told me, nobody's going to invest in you until you start investing in yourself. Okay. The next day I spent literally the only, I had like $600 in my bank account at that period of time. And I spent $500 buying exclusive rights to instrumentals. And now I have those instrumentals for life that I can make music with, that I can record my original songs to, that I can ultimately over time profit off of, and I can make money. So I make that investment, and I kid you not, the next week I signed with my manager. Boom. I invested in myself, and then somebody came willing to be invested in my craft and growing me. And so I thought it was pretty cool how this person told me that I invested in myself. I made that first investment in myself, in my craft, and then somebody showed interest in me. Kind of cool. Yeah, so be intentional. Put the energy out there. Believe in whatever you want. Believe it's yours and go for it. We have to stop making excuses. The human race is always making excuses. I've made so many excuses in the past why I couldn't do something, or, I let circumstances or finances or one thing or another stop me before even trying. And how will you ever know if you don't take chances? You have to be a risk taker. You have to put yourself out there. You if you want something, start doing it. If you want to be something, start being that person. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be overnight. I mean, I watch back videos and listen to songs that I recorded years ago. I sound like a completely different person. Was I successful? No. Was I an artist? Nonetheless, yes. What made me an artist? Because I was writing music, I was recording music, and I was creating. I was being an artist. It wasn't a record deal that made me an artist. It wasn't having a radio hit that made me an artist. It's not whether anyone likes my music at all. That doesn't make me an artist. I'm an artist because I create art. I'm an artist. So if you want to be something, be that. Don't expect to be perfect overnight. You know, they say it takes 10,000 hours to become quote unquote perfect at something, or be the best, or be, you know, so you really have to put forth that time. And I have recorded so many songs. I've written for hours. I've written so much of my life, and I'm still not the best. I'm still not the best I can be, you know? So it's a process, but you got to start somewhere. Baby steps. You got to start getting the ball rolling, putting that energy out there, walking the walk. Stop talking, girls. Stop talking. Stop just telling yourself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. One day. That one day will never come until you make today day one. Okay. Period. There's got to be a day one so that someday can come to fruition. So if you want to be an artist, if you want to be a beauty guru, if you want to be a doctor, you got to start somewhere. You got to go to school. You got to start putting content out there. You got to start writing music, whatever you want to be. You've got to start somewhere. So really get up and do it. No more excuses. Okay. Don't let your circumstances hold you back. I didn't think I was ready enough to be an artist because I didn't physically look my best. I didn't sound my best. I didn't all these things that could have kept me from ever trying, and I wouldn't be as skilled as I am today. Even as imperfect as I am now, I have gained so much confidence in my craft, and I have became so much better than I once was. But if I had not put forth all this time and energy, I would still sound and still write the same as I did back then. So plant those seeds and grow them. Grow them. Also, manifesting and being in tune and spirituality, a lot of people, they think that means that, you know, you're whipping up potions and casting spells and wands and witches. No, this is strictly just manifestation, the law of attraction, spirituality, energy, okay? But anyways, I'm going to go on another break, and then I'm going to answer you girls' questions on Instagram. There's a lot of juicy ones, so don't go anywhere. Okay, girls, let's get to the juice. Okay, somebody asked for my number. LOL. Very smooth, Kaden. Thank you. Miss Slenterella. Why are you literally just like the ever in the world? Right, because forever and ever. Duh, bitch. Like, why would you ask such an absurd question? Anyways, Miss Haley Poligzik. I'm so sorry. What's your favorite way to smoke? I used to not like joints and cones because they burn quicker, but it's so much less harsh on your throat. So I would say a cone, honestly. But I'm not picky. I'll take what I can get. Okay. So, Miss IDEEAAA, coming from a Sag herself, what is one toxic trait? Bitch, I can't even talk. What is one toxic trait you think most Sagittarius people have? I like to think we're perfect, really and truly. But I know that's not the case. Nobody is. We're very bold and very out there, and that typically, from my experience, intimidates people when you are such a character and you are so out there and just so, in your truth, if you will, which in my experience, every Sag that I have met, every Sag I've worked with, every Sag I've been around, went to school with, all very much out there, very much chaos, very loud, life of the party, energetic, um, shady, sassy, but we're just very sure of ourselves, and typically that intimidates people. So I don't know if that's really a toxic trait. It's like some people would say we're too much, but then that poses the question, are you even enough? So I don't know what being so blunt. I think that's one of our biggest problems. One of our biggest flaws is being blunt. A lot of people take it as you're ruthless and rude, and um, you know, uh, a lot of people say things like, "I'm just very blunt and what is it, tough loving," and then other people will counteract that with like, "Oh, it doesn't have to be blunt. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be ugly to get your point across." And like, I'm not saying that I'm ugly at all, but like sometimes people, I guess, want to hear what they want to hear and not what they need to hear. And by being a blunt person, speaking for myself at least, my bluntness is like if somebody were to ask me like, "Oh, do you think this goes together?" Like Tasia, for instance, like we be asking each other for like style advice all the time, which really and truly neither of us should ask each other because both of our ideas of style and fashion is completely different. But like we're very candid with each other and very like honest about that, and like that's something that I really appreciate about my friendship with Tasia. Which somebody asked, "What is one thing you really appreciate about your friendship with Tasia?" And that's actually it, is how candid we can be with each other. But my bluntness is like, "Oh, you're doing something stupid, you're wearing something crazy, or you're being a nuisance, or you're being detrimental to yourself or me or who or anyone around." Like I'm gonna tell you exactly that, and that's also kind of a shared um, trait that most Sagittarius people I know have. But also one thing that Sagittarius people do that I'm doing right now, very much right now, that's pissing me off is over explaining. That's a big problem that us Sag people have. We're just very passionate, so we shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. There's your advice, okay? Just shut the fuck up. Be cute, keep it mute, okay? How about that? Um underscore Davina, what made you want to do podcasting? Because I love to talk. I love to talk shit. I love to kiki with the girls. I love to give advice. I love to engage. And I enjoy having this platform to do so. Let's see. Haley underscore Nicole, what's your playlist for lifting at the gym? So I have been listening to a lot of Drake's new album the past few weeks, and that's typically all I listen to in the gym. And it's funny because it's like melancholy AF, and I listen to like Tim's, especially this week, a lot at the gym. Especially Higher. I'm obsessed, but you wouldn't think that that's what somebody would be working out to, but I'm a little emo in the gym pumping the weights. So I'm not out here listening to Eye of the Tiger like a lot of other people may be listening to, or that kind of upbeat, motivational music. Okay. Victoria Fletcher, how do you stay happy? It's hard. It's really hard. It's really exhausting. I'm gonna be 1,000 with you, bitch. It's hard. It's hard to be happy because, quite honestly, people can perceive somebody as happy and they might not even be happy. And that's not me. It's not a cry for help. That's not me being like, "Oh, I'm actually sad and broken." But it's hard to really gauge a person through social media because it is a highlight. It's all, you know, the positive parts of it, and I try to be bubbly and smiley and as happy as I can be, as silly as I can be online. But I have my moments. So how do you stay happy? I don't think you can. I don't think you physically can stay happy. There's going to be moments of weakness, but you have to always look at the glass half full instead of half empty. Whatever circumstances you've got going on, you can't let them define you or your experience. You just got to work around them. So happiness comes and goes. Everything is temporary. But yeah. Taylor Dragon 1010. Is there anything you struggle with often still? Yeah, my assumptions, jumping to conclusions. Yeah. And going 0 to 100. Yeah, expressing myself. It's something I'm working on, but I'm a lot better than I was months ago, and I'm going to be a hell of a lot better in the months to come. Okay, Ansley_Marie. Hey, pretty mamas. Hey, pretty mamas to you, bitch. What kept you going when you were at your lowest? Faith and manifestation. Like I said, everything is temporary. So in those moments at my lowest, as sad and as hard as it was to pull myself up and get out of the trenches, I knew that ultimately that too would pass. And, there's a rainbow after every storm, as cliche as that sounds. And so when I feel like when you're going through a lot and when you're in a low point, it's just preparation to what's to come. You're preparing for something better. So keep that in mind. Focus on the good around. There's always beauty in the world. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of disgusting things going on in the world, but we can't hyper focus on those. We can't hyper focus on our weaknesses or what we don't have, what we're not doing, what's going on, the bad in the world, the bad in us, the bad around us. Like we need to focus on the positives, the goods, the beauty in the world, because there's so much beauty out there. Sure, there's horrible things going on. You turn on the news, you're sick to your stomach. You get on Twitter, you get on TikTok, the reports are sickening. But go outside, be in nature, experience the beauty, be around beautiful people who love you, beautiful as in, within, people who love and accept you, and recognize that there's beauty out there. So just stay level-headed. Really, that's how I come out of my low points. I just stay around good people who keep me positive. I put myself in peaceful environments, and I remember it's temporary. Yeah. So Alex M. Dust. I'm so sorry. Dauzat. Interesting. However you say that, I'm so sorry. Will you be having guests on? Would love to hear your banter with Miss T, Eden, etc. So yes, season 2 is approaching, and I am really buckling down on that experience and elevating that experience. I'm really waiting to give my whole pussy to season 2. I will have guests. There will be more structure, and I can't wait to have guests because having somebody else to talk to takes a lot of pressure off of me, and also opens the floor for somebody else to share their experience. And, I do kind of want to keep the vibe, but also like at the same time completely change everything. Like I kind of, when I do have guests, I really want to kind of pass the mic to somebody else. On this season, we really opened up about ourselves, our traumas, our trials, tribulations, our rise to where we are now, our demise, our troubled past, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. So I kind of want to pass the mic to other creators, artists, whoever I have on the show. I have a list of people who are interested in being on. So stay tuned for that. But yes, there will be guests. Stay tuned. Okay. Madge Lacey. How do you argue so well? Okay, period. I guess growing up, I had to hold my tongue so much. I didn't quite have the freedom to express myself fully, and I had to just kind of take it in certain regards. And over time, missed opportunity after missed opportunity, you just like think of all the things you could have said and all the things you could have did. And now like I typically face the same situations regularly with people. And over time, I've just really sharpened my tongue really and truly like, and they're really and truly, they're all the same people. So it doesn't take much. Gladys 6. Hey Gladys girl. Do you like Southern food? Of course, it's in my DNA. I love some cornbread. I'm a cornbread enthusiast. Audrey's modern life. How is working out at the gym with long nails? It is a pain in the ass, especially because I don't really do cardio. I mostly only do weight training. And so people are always looking at me when I like go grip like a weight. I have to like maneuver my hand around it weird. And like when I'm putting it down, I have to be ever so careful because, girl, I ain't trying to rip my fucking fingertips off. Oof, no, ma'am. Okay, Lola's mom, have you done mushrooms? And if so, which do you prefer? Okay, so I don't know what shrooms I did. I've done shrooms 3 times. Full transparency, I've only done shrooms 3 times. I did it once at the beach in like 2016, I think it was. A horrible experience. I was questioning my whole life, my purpose. I was, trigger warning, contemplating suicide. It was dramatic. It was crazy. I got stuck in a loop. I was on the beach with my bestie and her boyfriend, and they were kind of like in their own world, doing their own thing, and I was kind of like trailing behind on my own journey, and I was having a bad trip. They were having a great trip. I was having a bad trip. And like yeah, anyways, I don't know what shrooms they were, but the next 2 times I did them was it 2020? No, it was 2021 in spring. I did them 2 weekends back to back in March, I think it was, of 2021. And it was a great experience. It was a beautiful, magical experience. I felt very connected to the universe. It was very euphoric. And I felt like I talked to my mother in the woods. Yeah. It was beautiful, crazy, gorgeous, memorable experience that ultimately opened my eyes to a lot of things. So this is not me promoting mushroom usage. If that's something you're into, shoot for the stars, but I'm not promoting or encouraging anyone to do drugs. Yeah. Okay, C_Martinez. If you could have one more moment with your mother, what lesson would you thank her for teaching you? That's a beautiful question. A specific lesson, I don't know. There was too many. I would say, though, ultimately the biggest lesson I learned from my mother was really through her actions and her unwavering loyalty, her drive, her ambition. My mother was, she was a lot of great things. I'll just say that. And she was not one to fuck with. I get a lot of my personality, a lot of my attitude, a lot of my rebellion from my mother. But regardless of her flaws and all those and whatever else other people might paint her out to be, My mother had one of the purest hearts. She was definitely the type of person that would give the shirt off of her back. It's very cliche to say, but it was very true. And if my mother fucked with you, which was very few people, but friends and family, she would ride hard for you. My mother cussed so many schools out, so many kiddos out, so many parents out on my behalf. My mother put herself in a lot of circumstances on her children's behalf because she did not play with us. And so she really, really taught me love and acceptance and how to be an individual and how to stand up for what's right and to speak our mind. And that's ultimately a lot of things that I learned from my mother, and to just be your true authentic self. So there would be a lot of things I would thank her for, but ultimately the experience she gave me is what I would thank her for. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of these questions are redundant, or I've answered them in the past. Okay, someone said Mackenzie.e advice to get over your fear of driving. Just fucking drive. Do it. I wasn't like terrified of driving. I know that's like a real fear that people have. So like that's easier for me to say than it would be for you to, do potentially. But I was really scared of driving as well when I first was like, oh shit, I'm on the road. Like I'm going to be by myself driving. My first day on my own, I drove to Atlanta, fully almost crashed, almost threw one man into the Peach Pass. Or what? I don't know if Peach Pass was a thing yet, but it was either HOV or the furthest left lane. He almost flew and hit the brick, the cement wall. Just do it. Just go out there and drive. That's all I can say. Oh. Okay. Well, girls, I love you so much. And I hope you're having a beautiful, gorgeous, sexy, hot day. And yeah, stay tuned for next week. Leave a review and kiss somebody.